Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the master of the universe himself. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
I'm trying to think of like a non-well-known master, and I'm not familiar enough with He-Man to pick one.
Snout Spout.
All I've got is Fisto.
I don't know how to take that. There's a joke. There's a sex joke in there somewhere.
No, Andy, silly Andy. No, all I've got is good fisting.
My name is Mikey, Prince of Eternia, defender of the secrets of Castle Mikey Skull. This is Andy, my fearless cat. And me just sitting there going, meow!
No, it's you, as you are now, but wearing Battle Cat's outfit.
Oh, that's better than like what I had in mind was like a cat girl outfit, and I'm just standing there saying, I hate my life.
Sexy cat girl Andy, hell yeah.
And it's just me standing there looking so depressed. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Why is this your fantasy? This is how it's got to be. Hello there, Mikey. How are you doing?
Hello. Does it have to be this?
It's sometimes the nightmare is the only way. It is the only way. How's it going, Mikey? Are you good?
I'm grand. How are you?
Same as usual, I'd say. Same as usual. We're here today, as ever, to talk about Transformers. And there was one bit of news, interesting news this week, I would say. Right?
Mm-hmm. At least, yes.
Expensive, but interesting at the very least. So we may as well get cracking with the knacking with the third-party roundup. We're kicking off with Fans Hobby, as they have been doing the Headmaster Juniors. We've got the last of the Headmaster Juniors. Sorry, I don't mean that. I mean the last of the lame Headmaster Juniors.
Yeah, no, I was wondering where you were going there, and I was like, oh yeah, they haven't done any of the con ones yet.
They haven't done any of the good ones, is what you meant to say. They're finishing off, I'm sorry if you like these guys, you're wrong to do so, because the
everyone likes
ones
Minerva.
are better. They just are.
Minerva's fun, because Minerva makes no goddamn sense.
It's true. This one is MB-14 Cap, with a K, because it is Junior Cab, or Hosehead, who oddly enough never had hoses for a head. So
no,
he
did not.
Yeah, I almost.
Although he kind of, I'm just looking at the picture of the original toy now. He does have hoses on the side of his head.
Does he? Where? Are they not just his arms?
Yeah, but they've got little things at the tip, and those are hoses.
Okay. I've never looked that closely. I all thought that they all had the same little bits that went on the side of the seat part.
No.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So
now I've got egg on my face.
Like I'm looking at the original toy. Like new fancy guy, his like third party fancy man here is those are his arms. But like original like classic Generation 1 character did have big hoses on his head.
G1 spelled with two E's. And one spelled W-U-N.
2 E's and no 1.
Oh my god. But yeah, we got Hosehead. I almost, as I was looking through the story, saw MB12 and saw Athena. Then I saw MB13, and I'm pretty sure I did this before, and I'm sure I said, or saw Ace Hitler. It's not Ace Hitler. It is Ace Hitler.
I saw the same thing.
Oh, good. It's not just me. I'm not just... it's both of us are terrible people. That's okay.
I was just like, Ace Hitler. I didn't even register it as I was reading.
I mean, if you call your Transformer third-party toy Ace Hitler, you are a brave third-party company.
Listen, this week, tangentially related, I was scrolling through stop-motion videos on YouTube, and I stumbled on a toy line I didn't know existed, which is a World War II themed action figure set with posable Adolf Hitler, who's not called Adolf Hitler, but is just like given a really generic name, but it's Adolf Hitler with facial expressions, swappable, cartoony, screaming facial expressions.
Oh my god, how old's this toy line?
New. Brand fucking new.
What, for 2021?
I believe so, yes.
Oh my god,
and
why?
Like, really, and like, also has a Hitler cat.
A Hitler cat? What, does the cat have a tiny mustache or something?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, the cat has a tiny mustache. And surrounded by, like, SS officers. And I was just like, what the fuck am I seeing?
Who's it for? Who's this toy line for?
the thing is, like, as a weird action figure collector, I like the weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
You buy... Who wants a posable, face-swapping Adolf Hitler?
Well, I've got another question for you, Mikey. Right.
But, like, the only thing you could do with it is make Hitler screaming from the pulpit. And the only people who want that toy, I'm not sure we should be marketing towards.
Maybe not. But, Mikey, which would you feel you'd have to explain more to your parents? One of the anime girl taking off their clothes statues, or the Adolf Hitler, which would cause more conversation?
Sadly, the naked anime girl would cause more conversation than, "Hi, Mommy and Daddy, I bought a slightly stylized but heavily featured and articulated Adolf Hitler toy."
Doesn't that just really say where the times are?
So my choice were, buy a big-boobed anime dragon lady, or buy this.
By not
and I
Adolf
decided
Hitler.
It would cause less fuss if I bought the leader of the Third Reich.
Yay! Everybody's favorite. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so Ace Hitler.
Yeah, Ace Hitler. But we're not talking about. We're talking about Cap, and we have the posable. The prototype color shot images for him. The mold, as it quoted in the story, is very toon accurate in both modes. And it's highly posable, unlike any third-party toy, which is a lie because they're all posable. But I will say it gives off the feel of the animation model. It seems like he's going to pose. He fits in with the rest of them fairly well. He's a little bit more chunky. Like a lot of his joints are very squared compared to like Ghost Shooters, who has the thinner arms. So I guess he's meant to be the muscle of the group, I suppose.
I barely remember Cab, and all I really remember of Cab is the deeply loud but yet still unspoken sexual tension between him and Ghost Shooter.
What, as they were trying to get Minerva?
No, they were clearly more into each other, and Minerva was like almost their excuse to hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
And that time they dressed him up as a maid.
Yes, yeah. You mean in the Legends comics?
Yeah, no, this was actually in
the show.
It was in the show and it was in Legends.
Yeah, I remember it primarily from the Legends comic.
But what I want to know is, like, does this figure come with a maid outfit?
Probably not, because it's not Cab. It's Hosehead.
Got a little Cab man. It's got a little Cab man.
Oh, that is true. But it's not like him out of armor. He's wearing the armor, so I'm guessing.
I'm just saying, like,
no.
In the pictures where it's like, here you can sit really close to one of the other headmasters, they put in Shooter. They put in Ace Hitler.
Perhaps, Mikey, it's one of those things that you'll be able to get like a custom third party for.
That would be amazing.
Maybe.
Get a maid outfit. But
it's the thing that could happen. Never say
Japanese
never.
Transformers had some very gay characters.
Yeah.
Culminating in the ultimate gay characters in Zone, who were like just explicitly out and dating.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which in the 80s is pretty impressive.
I suppose, but the problem is that why Zone failed? Because it just was too progressive for the time.
No, yeah, it was just like, we've made this really effeminate-looking boy dating this equally effeminate-looking boy.
Mm-hmm. That was not the reason it was cancelled, by the way, if anybody wanted. If you didn't know.
No, it's just interesting to me that they had like openly gay characters back in the day.
A little factoid from Mikey there for you. How do you think Cap has turned out, Mikey?
No, I can't. I watched the Ollie Does Popping competition video. That went on for an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think I think they look great together. I also think I think having the trio really highlights that they're kind of meant to. They don't really work as well individually, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got a nice complement color scheme where they all kind of mishes together,
like
looking nice.
Just the picture of them all like they're all outside their vehicles, who all open in highly impractical ways.
What do you mean, Mikey? What's impractical at the way the Cap opens up?
Well, the entire front of the fire engine comes down.
Yeah.
Shooter, the entire roof of the car, and not Minerva, the entire roof of the car.
Yeah.
No one uses doors in Japan.
No, it's like a DeLorean, but better.
But the DeLorean still has doors. It's just they're ridiculous.
Yeah, but it took the DeLorean to the next level. It was the next
and
evolutionary process.
These totally look like the cars are trying to eat people.
A little bit, yeah. Especially Cap.
So I think I like the vehicle mode. I've always liked his vehicle mode. It's boxy and dumb. like a real fire truck. But I think the robot mode is like it's got the level of chunk I like. Like he's bricky, but he's stylized bricky. For onto a better, and like you said, he's very, very tune accurate. He looks really good with the trio. Like I really think this is a weird thing to say from me, but I think if you're getting one of these, you kind of have to get the other two as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you say, they are a team, and it would be sad not to have the full lads and lady together.
And like I used to think this was absolutely going to go through some retooling and get redone into Nightbeat and Hosehead and Siren.
I haven't been yet.
Yeah, but I'd be very surprised now. Like Nightbeat, Minerva would like basically have to be redone from the ground up. Because like the proportions just don't work for Nightbeat, and like I suppose with the other two, you just kind of have to switch the heads and maybe some colors around. But like, why bother? Like, let's be honest. Apart from Nightbeat, who cares?
That's the thing, yeah. Like, Hosehead, I think is still pretty much visually the same. Yeah, and Minerva's more of a not really a thing, is she?
No. Do you know what we could do?
Huh?
And I would think it was a good repaint.
Huh?
Legends Minerva.
Yeah, I thought you might go with
Evil,
that.
alternate reality, weird, look at my jacket, why am I half naked, Legends Minerva.
Get the swimsuit.
Yep. And like, you wear Nightbeat colors, so you get your Nightbeat repaint.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we get the best thing in the world.
Alien Attack Nightbeat.
Yep.
So, yeah, Alien Attack Nightbeat. I don't think we'd get it. I mean, she could just be a retool of the Alien Attack Optimus Prime lady. There you go. I don't think this looks too bad. Not super excited. Maybe they'll hopefully move on to doing the good ones next. The Decepticon ones like Cancer and Wilder and Bullhorn. Horrible. What's his name? Bullhorn.
Bullhorn. Yeah, Horrible was the American one.
That's right. Yeah.
Also, like I was just looking at TFWiki's page on Minerva, and wow, that character art.
Is it from Legends?
No. If only. Hang on, I'll send it over. This is from the Transformers Generation 1 Character Encyclopedia.
Oh my god.
Which is a book I'm assuming I'll never own.
Oh my god. Why do you assume that? It's a lot,
because it's probably Japanese and expensive.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Oh wow, yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah,
her face doesn't look real. She looks like you know those horrible masks that people can wear. Yeah, it looks like one of those things.
Yep. Also, she looks weird. Like it's kind of like a more modern update on her appearance because Minerva didn't look like that.
No.
At all. Like she had way smaller eyes, but Anyway. But yeah, no, I think this guy looks pretty solid, and I don't think we're going to see many changes to his look now. But
no, probably not. It'll just be the paint slapped on at this point, really.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Makes sense.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the bit of Transbots news, sir?
Yeah. So X-Transbots have revealed a Gravestone trailer youth version.
What does that mean?
I'm supposing this is the one that's hanging around the car park, making old ladies feel intimidated.
Oh my
god! Smoking behind the bin, talking about ladies in a disrespectful fashion.
Okay, that's a little better than what I thought you were going to go with. So that's good. That's good.
So this is a trailer planned to go with the youth version. So this is the G1 toy deco. Several accessories, including a roller ace car, which I believe is the car that went on to Menassor's chest.
Yeah, there was a boot car.
Yeah. New interchangeable faces, a bunch of weapons, and some more stuff. And for reference, the Ute version is Motormaster repaint with new faces and a chrome sword.
So you can get the other ones individually then, I'm guessing, still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a case like you buy Motormaster, and then he replaces like your other guys. He replaces the old Gravestone, the old Motormaster, and you know, and like so. The actual accessories are: we have a neutral kind of we have two neutral faces, which look like they're based on different animation models.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
And one shouting face. in terms of parts, we have add-on pieces. We have a little radio. We have several add-on pieces that look like they're joints of some sort.
Is the radio a reference to something?
I don't know the Stunticon episodes well enough to tell.
I can't remember.
We've got guns for each of the toy-based guns for each of the Stunticons.
Yeah, if you wondered what they were the guns that went onto the back of the car mode only and were a terrible idea because they look crap.
Yep. We also have extra parts for Dead End and Drag Strip to... I'm assuming that's for the Combiner mode.
I guess.
I'm assuming... Yeah, because it would be...
Are they to replace parts on the original versions of those
toys?
I
think it's to make it look more toon accurate.
Oh, just kind of curve them out kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, because if you... because if you have to actually look here, like, it basically makes them look more toon accurate. But there's a slight problem, is that if you look at the Menasor... they're not color accurate to the original Dead End and Drag Strip.
No, you're right. Oh, I hate it when they do that. It happens a lot with yellow plastic specifically. Yeah,
but really disappointing with Dead End because, like, ooh, that's a weird clash of maroons.
Yeah,
that's quite a letdown in all honesty. And no one cares about Wild Rider Breakdown because they're basically his shins. We also come with a G1 style sword, the chest car. A big ass Menasor gun and 2 lightning effect parts.
Yeah, what's that for?
And a blaster effect part. And they do not show the effect parts in use.
No, I didn't think so. I couldn't see any images for them.
Do you know what? I'm telling a further lie, Andy.
Oh my god, I
told an even further lie.
No.
So... I clearly have not been keeping up with this toy. Okay. So you can't... It's very strange. I'm looking through... Like, it looks like Gravestone basically turns into Menasor, missing bits. So he's missing parts of the arms. He's missing parts of the legs.
Okay.
So if I'm reading this right, yes, you can stick those parts onto Drag Strip and Dead End.
Right.
But you can also, I think, stick them onto Gravestone, to stick them onto the Menasor mode, right? Mm-hmm. And that'll fill out the arms so that you can have this individual figure, and then have a trailer add-on which will make it look like he's fully combined.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the bottom picture. Yeah, but it won't have obviously the Wild Rider and the other one on the back of the shins, but I suppose, like you said, it doesn't matter.
You can see the front of the shins are painted to look like
that's right.
Wild Rider and Breakdown.
That's right. Interesting.
So yeah. Because if you scroll through, you can see a picture of the arm from the side, and yeah. That's what they're doing.
Interesting.
Which also, but yeah, so.
It's not a terrible idea,
weird.
I suppose, but
no. I think it's interesting. Like, it'd be kind of interesting if they just went, we're just doing a single Motormaster figure, and this is how we're doing Menasor without producing 4 more figures.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm misreading some stuff going on here, guys, I am literally just like, this is like live interpretation kind of stuff. So. Yeah, but it, like, I find it a very interesting way of doing a Menasor.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a look at what the X-Trans bots, regular guys look like the other guys. Yeah, like, their normal guys look perfectly, like, they don't look unusual or how it combines or anything like that. Now, this is one that, like, I will say, if you do like the style of their Menasor, and you don't want to end up spending a huge amount of money...
Yeah, this could be a decent solution, I suppose, yeah.
Because, like, the trailer... I'm looking at TF Source now, so the Gravestone nude version is $130, and the trailer is $50. The individual figure for Breakdown, or Wild Rider, is $80. So multiply that by 4, that's an extra $240. No, maths are hard. $320 on top of that.
Okay.
So you could spend under $200 and get a full third-party Menasor, which isn't 100% accurate to what you want, let's be honest, but it's on the ball. or you can spend an extra 300 and get something else. They've also done a G2 version of the regular guy, so that is up for pre-order at the moment, not due out until March 2022.
A safe assumption this might get the G2 treatment as well, then, I guess?
There's a trailer here advertised for 209 Gravestone trailer version. Gravestone trailer G2. Is this just a trailer? Because I hope this is not just a trailer, because it's $200 on its own.
It might be, because otherwise they'd have to sell you a Motormaster as well, and the images don't show it comes with a Motormaster.
No.
Seems to suggest it's just Gravestone, so it might just be the trailer, you know?
I hope that would... For me, that would push it, because that's $350 for the whole package, but...
I think the idea is, because it's a really big figure, is kind of the justification behind it, but no, like you say, 200 would still be a little bit on the rougher end, but I can kind of see why it might be 200, because it's also a second version of the same figure, so they might be thinking to beef up the price maybe a bit more. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm still scrolling through. There was a version of this package before, and it came with more face options for both Motormaster and Menasor.
Oh well. Not this time. This is a different color scheme.
Yeah.
So
this is weird. This is a weird thing. I feel like I've probably missed something or misinterpreted something here, but all I can do is say what we see. I think it's an interesting approach to doing the character.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Andy, any further thoughts on this very unusual product?
It's not my favourite Menasor I've seen, but it's an interesting idea, at the very least. Lots of new Menasors coming out at the moment, it seems like.
Yes.
Do you think they're trying to rush them out before the official Hasbro one gets released?
I mean,
that's a legit question.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but see, the way that usually works is they go like, here's our design, go, 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 go. Which sometimes translates more into... we're trying to undercut Hasbro. This seems to be like, oh god, get in before they say we can't make it. Get in before we say we can't make it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because if you get in before then you're not undercutting Hasbro, and they can't get you on that term, I suppose. Or they might not come after you aggressively because of that. Shall I move on, Mikey?
Please do.
Alright, Mastermind Creations have decided to announce the Optus Nox, which is Batman. It's not Batman, but it's basically Batman. So, Mikey, this is a black version of their popular Optus Pexus, which was Orion Pax, I think, right?
Yep.
It was a very superposable IDW Orion Pax figure. But this one's different, Mikey, because he's evil.
Oh
my
Batman's
God.
evil.
I am. He's got no parents, therefore he must be evil.
How very dark endless of you.
Thank you. So, new accessories to differentiate this one from the last one and give him a bit more personality is he comes with a new cloth cape. New cloth goods cape. I don't know why there has to be goods in there.
Yeah, it's soft good capes. You don't say cloth good cape.
Yeah, luckily it's not a big old chunk of plastic, so that's a benefit at least. It's got an alternate head with a shattered faceplate. And a sword with the Matrix in the hilt, which I think we've seen the sword with the Matrix in the hilt before, right?
I don't necessarily know. I mean, it's just like
I've
the sword
seen
it's
this
the
design
Starsaber. They've done the Starsaber a million times, like in different forms, so it's very possible. Like I know they did one with and they're like Seraphicus, the Nova Prime, the really stylized Nova Prime they did years ago.
Okay.
So it could be something similar, but it is. I like how they say that sword with the Matrix in it's the Starsaber. It's a dark it's, if you will.
Oh no.
A dark Starsaber.
Oh my god. Patent it, Mikey. Trademark.
Yep.
Before Hasbro.
Yep, no one's had that idea before.
The faceplate shattered thing is kind of interesting because you see his little mouth underneath.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, I find it almost weird that wasn't with the original because I believe that's referencing a scene from not Spotlight. What was it called? The first big James Roberts story with the Megatron and Optimus in the past.
Oh, that was just
it was in the middle of the ongoing. And
yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
Because like it came I've got the volume somewhere.
Yeah,
around
it was
here.
like the first kind of step up in terms of writing for the
Yeah,
main Transformer
Chaos
comic
Theory.
after a while.
Chaos Theory, that was it.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just looking like there is a scene where he's holding Whirl and he's got this exact face crack. So I'm assuming that there's going to be like a red and blue version of that at some point.
Maybe. It's surprising that this doesn't come with that extra head. Since the figures already came out for the Orion packs, it's, you know, it would have made sense to like do 2.
Yeah.
So you could give it to that. That's
And
like, you know,
like
we've done this face, so, you know.
Make sure to buy them both.
That's the thing you could do. Mikey, we can see him posing. You can see he turns into a truck thing. Cybertronian truck. We see him as ever. He's still superposable. He's bibbing and bobbing with his cape and his sword and his over-the-shoulder gun cannon guns. What do you think of him? I personally, I'll throw out my opinion first. I think it's certainly a black repaint that everybody's used to, but at least there are some fun accessories to try and make it a little bit more unique. I don't think it does enough to make it unique, but it's something, you know?
Yeah,
How about you, Mikey?
I think it's good. I think the sword will add a lot, like, for a figure that the whole thing about is that, like, here's ridiculous articulation. Throwing in the sword, throwing in an accessory is always going to add to that play value, that posability. Just like, okay, now you can do like 15 billion cool sword poses and weird sword poses and anything else. Like, you can do like, oh god, I hit myself in the face and that's why my face plate is broken, sword poses.
Oh no.
Because that's what I do. The cape, I think, is a good idea. I don't think it's greatly executed.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm just happy for once it's not plastic.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like, okay, it's not plastic, but clearly you're not used to doing an accessory like this. There does look like there's wires along the edge, which is at least good, but I've seen it done much, much better.
Oh my god.
The base figure, it's basically like, I would say leaning on more the Nemesis Prime than the Scourge stylings, because it's
That's true.
Very dark. Like, there's only a very small bit of teal.
Yeah, it would have been nice if there was a bit more, like, darker greys in there, maybe to break up the black as well, just a little bit.
Yeah. Definitely reminds me more of something like maybe Armada Nemesis than strictly Scourge or Modern Nemesis. Which is so weird that is now something we can, you know, differentiate. But
even then, Armada Scourge had, I'd say, more color breakup because he had the big old silver bumper on his grill, on his chest grill. So it wasn't just solid black.
No. I haven't seen a picture of him in ages, but
he's all right.
Nemesis Prime from because he's got a big gray bit in the middle. You're right.
Yeah.
Which they toned down in the show, but it's still very noticeable. That was a good Optimus design, but maybe not the best executed in toy form, but a good design. But I think he looks competent. Like, I think for this figure, it's still like all about the articulation, and this is just another way of getting hold of this figure if you miss it the other way around, with some more stuff with some add-ins like colors and everything else. So hey, incentive to buy it twice, but hey, if you
know what the people really wanted this to be done into, Mikey?
Toxitron.
Huffer.
Toxitron.
Obviously Huffer.
Toxitron.
Who?
Toxitron.
I'm Hasbro. Who?
I want to do Toxitron. I want this figure into Toxitron. You can't be Hasbro. You're doing a Mastermind Creation figure.
That's true. You know what you'd give Toxitron? You'd give him like a dumb 90s accessory pack where it's like two giant containers where you can put fluid onto his back. And it's neon green. And it has a
wire, a hose. He's got a hose gun.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, like, do you remember bendy plastic straws? But it's clear and neon green again.
Yep.
It goes onto a bigger Super Soaker like gun.
Yeah, and it's like his Toxic Avenger gun or something.
Exactly, bullshit. He blasts people with toxic ooze.
Yeah.
Toxic energy.
Absolutely, do something like that, guys. Why does no one listen to us? Like, better than bloody Magnus again. Here's a white version of what you already had. No, here's a toxic version that is so, and he needs a big sticker on the back, or a big tampo on the back that says something like ridiculous.
Needs a big dumb face, or like at least like make his eyes crazy.
Yeah, like just
he's
really
got nuts from the goo.
Crazy color.
That's I mean, no, that's a given. He has to have the crazy color.
Yeah. Basically, yes, please. But so when they do Toxitron, I'll be excited about that. Until now, this is just kind of like the expected.
Yeah. Send your check to Mikey Mastermind Creations for the idea.
Yep, or not just Mikey will do. I'll pass it on.
Oh wow, thank you, I appreciate it. Mikey, do you want to take us on to... Did we talk about this Bumblebee?
This was so we heard about this guy ages back from what I found out. Because when I saw this, I was very confused.
Okay.
So 3-0 are doing a line of stylized G1 Transformers. Specifically, they've revealed so far just Optimus and Bumblebee. But the Optimus was only seen as a prototype, like, when was this? I'd say at least a year ago now or something like that.
Okay.
Early in 2021. They were both revealed in prototype stage at... Do you know what? Not even early. July. This was back in July.
Oh my god.
I had no idea. This seemed way earlier. But yeah, so we had Optimus in grey prototype colors, and now we're getting Bumblebee, and we get to see like Bumblebee's whole shtick.
Can I make a prediction?
No.
If they do another 2, is it going to be Megatron and Starscream, or is it going to be Megatron and Soundwave?
I mean, there's always that possibility, Andy, but like
it's a stretch, but you know.
Okay.
Just let me dream.
So this is essentially like movie / G1 hybrid. Bumblebee's got a lot of like curves and everything else that really put in mind his Bumblebee movie appearance.
Yes,
while having more traditional proportions and a more traditional head design. So accessory-wise, he's coming with a gun. He's coming with 2 sets of hands. He's got 3 sets of hands rather. 1 fist, 1 open, and 1 holding. And he's coming with a masked face, which is referencing the G1 toy.
Oh.
And that one
is there an image of the masked face? I can't see one.
You are looking at the wrong link.
Oh my god!
So I will send it to you. I'm assuming.
I found it. I found it. Cheers.
And then the one time he used that in Dreamwave.
Isn't it meant to be like a reference to the toy as well? Because the OG toy had that
based
kind of
off the toy, but like Dreamwave did it that one time. So I was just thinking because Dreamwave are the only people who care.
Oh.
Looks very articulated. Just scrolling through, it's got really good articulation, and it's 3-0, which means like it is painted up the wazoo. Like it's got rust painting, lots of shading, everything else.
The hip joints are die cast as well, which is interesting. They are basic ball joints, but it's kind of nice to see the metal in there at least.
So it's going to be a 5-inch tall figure as well, so it's not huge.
Mm-hmm.
Due out in the first quarter of 2022. 36 points of articulation, full, not just the hips, full die-cast metal frame.
Oh, okay. No, that's neat.
They're saying great durability, resulting in a groundbreaking, affordable price.
To
be fair,
have they announced the price?
Not here, but I will point out that for 3-0, like their usual prices are close to 200 minimum. So,
what's affordable?
I would like to know exactly what for 3-0 an affordable price is.
Affordable for us. It's like, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The most recent news story, hot on the heels of official Galaxy, sponsors now getting up their listings of the impressive action figure, and it has the groundbreaking affordable price of... You get 3 guesses.
Is it 200?
No.
Lower or higher?
No, I'm not. I said you get 3 guesses.
Oh, come on. 150.
No.
Oh, not knowing if it's lower or higher, it's stupid. 170.
No. You know,
how close?
More guesses. You have failed miserably. $60.
Oh, okay. That's
I am
fair.
Actually shocked.
That's not bad.
That is
affordable.
That is a very reasonable price. Especially for something that clearly has a buttload of paint.
I am surprised.
Genuinely surprised. So if you're after a sort of Flame Toys-esque approach of stylizing your G1, but in this case, because it's 3-0 more movie than anything else, yeah, go. Anime is Flame Toys, movie is 3-0, but you now have a very reasonable price, and I'm genuinely shocked.
We did have issue with it last time. I think we talked about it. It must have been last week, where we said it would have been nice if the legs were black, just to break up the yellow. And I still think that's the case here.
Yeah, the upper thigh, I would say the thigh specifically.
A bit more black needed to be in there, I think.
Yeah,
just to break it up.
Yeah, but hey, I would say that's a movie effect because like he's all yellow down below. Down below. Andy.
Mikey.
What next?
What next? Let me tell you of what is next on the agenda. It is that Transformers Generation 1 Season 1 is available for streaming via the Hasbro Pulse YouTube. The YouTube channel page. I think they also have like G.I. Joe and stuff of that ilk on there. I'm just having a look. There's G1. They've got links to their previous Transformers Fan Fridays and all that jazz. So that's a oh no, that's it. What channel has the
This is different. So so Hasbro Pulse and like there's other Hasbro one, and their Hasbro one is the one where like Cyberverse aired and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and they got the My Little Pony, and they've got images of 5 months ago. They put up a video of how to convert Decepticon Airwave, the Micromaster base, and the Alicon from 4 months ago.
Huh. I will say,
because the Alicon was released only 4 months ago. That's weird. What is this? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Why did they split Transformers away from the main Hasbro channel? I wonder.
Don't know. But it's like
odd choice.
The news story says it's the complete Generation 1. It's Season 1.
Yeah.
Which is not the complete one, but it's
almost complete.
Apart from the missing 90-something episodes.
Exactly. But if you want, you can go and watch Transformers legally, I suppose, on YouTube now. So that's a plus. I may as well also take this because apparently there was a thing.
Oh, there was one thing I saw this mentioned. They are not in they're in production order, not viewing order.
That's interesting.
So you know, like the last episode of G1 is normally Heavy Metal War.
That's right, yeah.
Because it's like it ends on like Megatron in lava, and it's supposed to be like, will he return?
Yes.
We don't know because we made this before season 2 was confirmed.
Yes.
Well, here, Heavy Metal War is episode 14. The last episode is Plague of Insecticons.
Oh, weird.
It also pushes Ultimate Doom. Okay, no, that's a big mistake, I think. Because Ultimate Doom...
You mean by the Hasbro YouTube channel?
Yeah, because it goes SOS Dinobots, Ultimate Doom, War of the Dinobots. And I'm fairly certain Snarl and Swoop are in Ultimate Doom.
Hasbro.
I'm going to double check that, but I'm fairly certain, because I remember the big Dinobots build a trench scene. And I don't know if it's just the original 3 off the top of my head, but I would assume it was all 5.
I don't know, to be honest. I can't remember offhand.
A
little bit sad when the company doesn't remember the order of the shows.
Yeah, I suppose somewhere there's a production bible on a air there's Snarl's in it. Snarl picked up a tree.
I mean, you could easily run the excuse, well, it is production orders. Like,
and Swoop.
But come
Snarl
on.
And Swoop.
I'm pretty sure you want them to be shown in the correct order, right?
Yeah,
surely.
You don't really want 2 characters to have a part in a very obvious scene where they can't be avoided, and then have an episode following up introducing them.
No, that's a weird call, I would say. But there's also a thing that happened this week or last week at some point called Renegade Con 2021, and it seemed to focus around role-playing games. There was a few other games announced, and one of them was Transformers. Hooray!
Hooray!
And a few other things as well. So let's go through the summary. There was the Transformers deck building game, which we may have talked about before. The promo packs, Decepticon expansion, which was a Rising Darkness. There was the role-playing game, the Starter Adventure, which is a Beacon of Hope. And the reveals, I don't know why that's a separate thing, the deck card building game, which I...
the actual cards from the deck building game.
Yeah, I guess so.
So who did they get? Bumblebee, Prowl, Scrapper, and a bunch of other ones.
And I guess they're like bonus ones. Verity's in there as well.
It is Verity. Hello, Verity. Yeah. They're doing the IDW art stealing thing again.
Yeah, pretty much, which is always a bit lazy, but I wouldn't say surprising. I know this is a different card game to the one that people all got into, but I'm not sure why anyone would want to jump onto this when they were happily collecting their card game and they were just dropped like a sack of shit.
From what I understand, like, it's a different market.
The deck builders versus the deck collectors.
Because I was making a joke of just like, did this kill TCG? And then ages back when this was first announced, and like deck building is it's designed as a single player experience, like whereas the TCG is an interactive, it's a collector, like play a game with a friend kind of thing, or depending on who you.
Oh my god!
Depending if you're doing Transformers Yu-Gi-Oh, and you've got to save the world in the heart of the primes. I don't know.
Shadow Realm.
Yu-Gi-Oh is still going, and it's
Pokemon. It's still fairly popular, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
But Pokemon I kind of get. But from what I understand, Yu-Gi-Oh really has most of its draw in Japan. Like the international market for it has decreased.
That makes sense.
It had its hype time, and then it never really came back from that.
It's because it never really did anything else. Pokemon's still going because at least there are still games to play.
Yeah,
you collect them,
and they remarket. Even if the games are all the same, they remarket themselves every time to try and pretend they're different.
Exactly.
So, like the new ones, they've got like a new Arceus-based one coming out. But so this is like, hey, build a deck, play against yourself. It's a one-player card game experience. I don't know if there's actually a two-player option, but I do know that.
I would maybe that'll happen when the Decepticon expansion happens, because then there'll be another load of people. I'm not going to go through each of the details because it personally doesn't interest me a huge amount, so I wouldn't have a huge amount to comment on. Anything? What about you, Mikey? Do you want to comment on things
about the deck building game?
Well, just any of the things like the RPG.
Well, the
or anything like
kind of interests me, because what is it like? Okay, so they're using evergreen artwork, which will translate into eventually they'll bring in IDW artwork. D20 gameplay, blah, blah, usual stuff. You can make characters, equipment, dossiers, whatever. I'm curious about that. I am curious about that just because, whenever we get something like this, I think wow, what a thing with real potential. And they're also doing G.I. Joe and they're doing Power Rangers, so clearly Hasbro is getting a deal going on. But I'm also what is real potential that will get killed off within 2 years because it just doesn't have the wide appeal?
Yeah, because it's not D&D.
Yeah,
basically.
and there's other ones as well. There's D&D is the biggest, but
that's why I said D&D.
In the RPG circuit, new games pop up and establish World of Darkness is one I know about, and a few other ones, and they get going and they make identities for themselves and they keep going and they never get wide cultural, but they set themselves up in this in the RPG community, and that will keep them going. Yeah. Whereas Transformers is going to start, it might be really well put together, like the TCG. It might be wow, what a well thought out, cleverly put together RPG with a great system and everything else. And then it won't get traction, not because it's a low, it's an intro RPG. It's because it's a branded RPG.
Yeah, I would agree with that, yeah.
You have to be a Transformers fan, or you have to convince someone to play a Transformers game, and that it's worth playing a game that lots of people associate with terrible movies.
That's the thing, because I'd also say that from my limited knowledge of that, the board games and war games like Warhammer and BattleTech transfer better into RPG games because they're the kind of games that people are already playing. RPG games and tabletop miniature games, they're not distant cousins. They're in the same ballpark. While you say a person who collects Transformers toys and watches Transformers cartoon, getting them into the idea and the mindset of playing an RPG, I think depending on the person, obviously, is a bit more of a leap. At least for you, Transformer fan. You're
definitely looking for a crossover that is limited.
Yes.
Now, the TCG, we got a bit of that crossover, but what we had was Transformers fans who tried card games and discovered they really liked that. This was a really well made one. Mm-hmm. But because it didn't have the wider appeal, shops were saying, "Oh, we have the original run, the original rosters here a year on, and they haven't moved," because people just look at the name and go "Oh, it's like video games." The amount of people I saw who said they wouldn't bother with Devastation because it was a Transformers game and everything associated with the franchise is bullshit. And our Fall of Cybertron was another one. I bought it, and I remember some friends were going "Dude, why are you bothering with this bullshit? Have you seen how bad those movies are? Why do you think a game based in them will be better?" And I was
"Oh, I'm sorry. If you played the game, no, then shut your face."
And I was just "It's not based in the movies, guys. It's based in Transformers. Other things happened." And it turned out to be a really fucking good game. I really like Fall of Cybertron. And Devastation's really good, but I remember I bought it and I was in the shop and the person was just "Oh, you're buying that?" Yeah, I felt like playing a good Transformers game, and the look of just shame they tried to give me. "There's a good Transformers game," and that's a direct quote. I was just I have been into games since before you were born, kid. Don't try that with me, you dickhead.
Yeah.
I'm part of the generation that make games fun, damn it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
old. So here's the thing: if it comes out and like someone's doing okay, we're going to do an online version of this for some podcast, and says they want someone to come in and join, like I would leap at the opportunity. I think that would be really, really fun. Like, but I do not think this game is going to get off the ground. I think it might have a couple of years of support, and I think it's going to fade away.
I could see that. I don't think that's an unreasonable statement. Obviously, we'll be happy if we're wrong.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't want it to fail. I want it to do well, but especially if it's well put together. But
it sounds like it makes sense that it wouldn't, like you say, take traction in the wide stream.
Yeah, which is a shame.
It's just way it goes. The cookie crumbles.
Remember there was a Final Fantasy VII card game that went through like 2 years of like big attention, from what I understand, and then like completely dropped off the radar.
Oh, was it Triple Triad?
No, it's an actual like Final Fantasy VII the card game.
Lame. Triple Triad, I leave.
Triple Triad, I don't know if that's still online.
Is that an online game? Oh my god!
Well, no, did you not know about Triple Triad Online?
No, I only know about it from Final Fantasy VIII.
2000, early 2000s Mikey in the library every Saturday cycling the 7 miles into the library to get on a computer to play Triple Triad Online with people from all over the world, and getting in trouble at school because all I wanted to do was play Triple Triad Online instead of doing like whatever the fuck we were supposed to be doing in computer class.
Oh my god, Mikey.
Like, therefore the thing is, I believe it's still going, but I suspect that the player base has dropped off a wee bit, since you'd have to explain to a lot of new people what Triple Triad was.
Oh my god, you can buy the physical cards. There were physical versions of the game as well. Oh my god.
That was a well thought out game, actually, in all honesty.
It wasn't too bad.
But so I mean, well, I don't know. I will put money down. Transmissions will wrap up their RPG thing that's been going on for a while and do this.
I mean, that would make sense, just to, at the very least, just try out the system, right? It would make sense. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news?
Yeah.
The big hitter, the big boy of the week.
I would say this is the big news, and certainly the thing that has seen the most conversation in the last couple of days. We had Fan First Friday once again, presented by the wonderful people who never really look super comfortable. But so they have revealed the next Haslab product. And yeah, so it is a 2-pack of fairly sizable figures in the form of Starsaber and Victory Leo, which of course can combine into the very Super Sentai robot Victory Saber. So the way this is breaking down, there's an IGN article on it. I'm not going into it. There's a hilarious thing where they make a big thing on the website. What is it? Oh god, I was looking at it yesterday. Who better to be the first Japanese canon Transformer figure done by Hasbro than Victory Saber? I don't know. The other 20 you've done in the last 5 to 10 years. You've done fucking Black Shadow, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I saw someone put up an image of like all the other Japanese Transformers they did, and you're like, just like, oh, stop the person writing Overlord. These things.
Fucking Overlord.
I mean, he's not exclusive to Japan, I guess.
Yeah, but you could say, like, well, you did Overlord back in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
When you brought him over. But, hey. So, we, just on the website, you can see some, design sketches and everything else. So, yeah, this starts off, base figure is a very simple-looking Brainmaster. Good sculpting. And it will be able to combine with Saber, and will do the Brainmaster gimmick, but the head is engineered on a turret bucket, so it will still have swivels and rotation. It's not going to be a staring forward head. It's bigger than is he bigger than a Deluxe, I believe? Because they had a size comparison. Saber's the same size as the Deluxe. Actually, he's a small bit shorter than Hound.
Okay.
Now, this will then come with the V-Star, and this will obviously be able to act as its own like battle platform thing, or combine with the jet mode, and then these will obviously combine into Starsaber. And Starsaber is about twice the size of a Deluxe, maybe a little bit bigger. They've added in some new articulation that they normally wouldn't have, including butterfly joints, to allow for forward arm double sword holding poses. they have addressed the issue that the Masterpiece figure has in that when it holds the sword, because of the way the hilt is, which for anyone who doesn't know, the hilt is the front of the jet, the sword is always facing the wrong way. The blade is always the flat of the blade is always facing forward if you're holding it.
Right.
Because the Masterpiece can't hold it any other way. However, they've addressed
they never fixed it on the Masterpiece. I couldn't remember that.
Nope. Here, basically, the sword can be held in the traditional looking way, or you can turn the blade around and it can face forward. So that's not bad. It was a holdover from the original toy, but Masterpiece never dealt with it. Now with this will be Victory Leo. We get to see his rendered alt mode and his robot mode. Robot mode is posed in the original character art pose, which is a mistake. Victory Leo, he is, where's the size comparison? He is bigger than Hound. He's about, in terms of height, he's probably somewhere between a traditional Voyager and a leader, but he's a lot bulkier. So, I mean, he'd probably be minimum leader class figure, I'd say.
I think that's fair, yeah.
So he is going to come with cannons. These can be removed. These are attached to his body, but they can be removed. And then, of course, they combine into Victory Saber, so you can do the combined alt mode, or you can do the combined robot mode. For anyone who doesn't know, Victory Saber, basically, you split Victory Leo into two parts. Some are his feet, and the rest is a big backpack, and the cannons flip over. They are looking for $179.99 US. This is
that for both or just for one of them?
For the whole. These are only being sold as a package.
Okay.
Now, originally, these were only available in our backing was only possible via the Hasbro Pulse website in US, Canada, or the UK. However, they've announced partnerships with stuff like Zavi in France and someone else in Australia. I can't tell you off the top of my head. And that means that they are going to be available for pre-order there. So if you're in France or Australia and you buy off a retailer there, or you put in pre-order with them, then that will go towards the backers. And for this one, they are looking for 11,000 backers. With
how are they doing at the moment?
4,463. So 42 days, 2 hours and 55 minutes to go. Obviously, this is going to go through, there's going to be a peak. There's going to be a really quiet period where backers kind of trickle in, and then it'll be the last 20 days, 10 days where you see whether or not this will be made.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully they don't pull the kind of dodgy thing they did last time, which was we're going to extend this. Just limit of 5 per customer. So, and obviously shops and stuff are going to be able to make deals or stuff about this. But also 5 per customer is slightly worrying because, my God, the post everything scalpers on this will be a pain.
Definitely, yeah.
So for height wise, the Brainmaster is 1 inch. Saber is 5 inches. The V-Star is 8.5 inches long. Victory Leo is 7.5 inches tall. And they do, unless it's 8.5 inches for the Starsaber figure, but I don't know if that's it. They've got V-Star Jet here. So, I don't know. This is going to be up until the 10th of October. Andy.
Yes.
Would you like to hear for the 5 countries where this is available, would you like to hear the prices converted all into the same currency?
Oh.
Because everyone's basically in the UK it's £179.99. In America it's $179.99.
Okay. So, as you beat up your microphone.
It had to come in. North America $180. UK $247.70.
Are these including postage on these prices?
No.
Oh.
So $247.70. France $247.70. Australia $269.80. So that's all converted into the same dollars. So I would say, if you're interested in this, get a general idea of what shipping on large products is in your country.
Yeah.
And then
it'll be hard to tell because we don't know how much it'll weigh either.
True, but you can make an educated guess at least.
Yeah, that's
half the size of Unicron if you got him, basically, I'd say. Or a lot less, actually, maybe. But you should be able to at least get an idea of whether or not you're going to be paying a lot of shipping in the country, or would it be cheaper for you to have a friend in, say, America back it and then have it shipped over? which that might be something to consider as well. Because like, you know, there's a $70 difference between America and the UK. So if you can get it shipped for less than $70, like, you'd be better off doing it that way. So Andy, that's the money side of things. What do you think of the individual figures yourself?
Like, I don't think they took the best images of specifically Victory Leo. Like, it's not a good idea to show him in that weird pose, that weird squat pose. His arms are quite thin and his legs look quite gangly as well. Apart from that, he doesn't look too bad. And I think for retail, well...
These are retail figures.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
would be a retail figure, but with a higher price point on them? They, you know, Starsaber looks good, I guess, you know?
There's been a lot of discussion about that, and I do think it needs to be, like, re-emphasized. These are not supposed to be, like, masterpieces. These are problem, retail figures you never would have gotten. It's just they're done at a more premium price, basically. Which is what Unicron was as well. Like, Unicron was not a premium design. It was a Generations design.
I guess the problem is, like, are you getting your money's worth from this versus, like, what would have been the Masterpiece toy? Because I don't know. Because I think the Masterpiece toy looks a little bit tidier in a lot of ways for obvious reasons, because it had a bigger budget. I think it was more expensive, though, right?
Well, it was pretty dear. Also, the Masterpiece was very much trying to be the show model, so it had show model proportions, whereas this has Generations proportions. So there's some parts that are a lot chunkier than you would find in a Generations line. How much was MP Starsaber?
Much.
How much is he now if you were to buy him on eBay? Like, probably
500 or something like that? You're a million.
Masterpiece. Oh dear. Masterpiece Starsaber on eBay. First option. Says new. And let's assume they're telling the truth, and it's not a knockoff. 190.
Okay.
With free shipping.
Okay.
Which probably means it's actually cheaper. Another seller in Japan, 231. You can get a third-party one for less. You can, The only thing I can tell you for certain is that more expensive is the flame toys.
Well, I mean that makes sense. Obviously.
So yeah, it doesn't seem to be that hard to get a hold of a Masterpiece Starsaber with this kind of money.
Right. So,
but
I mean, that's something you should take into consideration. Yeah. Obviously, you do get Victory Leo as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, it was probably the same kind of thought I had with Unicron. It looks neat. This looks better than Unicron, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm more interested in this than Unicron because for me, Unicron's gimmick was size and it just doesn't look fun.
Yeah, no, totally. Where this looks like it's a playable toy. I think maybe the boots for Victory Saber are a little bit tall. Like the boots for him specifically. They add a little bit too much height. It would have been nice to have them squished down a little bit more. Kind of like the Robot Masters version, which I think was a really good version of Starsaber and Victory Leo. And they were really small. They were smaller than Deluxes are now.
Oh, yeah, they're quite short.
Yeah, and they did the job of both figures fairly well.
I think this is... I was going to say these are toy proportions, but looking at the toy, I think relatively that this is taller. No. This is toy proportions. That's just the way the toy was designed. Starsaber has really titchy feet.
Ah, okay. Tiny feeted Starsaber. So I think I might prefer the Robot Masters version of this guy, to be honest. But this obviously has size and better articulation on its side versus the Robot Master version, in all fairness. But what about you, Mikey? What do you think? Do you like it? Because I'm not wowed, clearly. I'm not.
So overall, I like the idea of it. For me, there's another concern I'm going to put in at the end. Or another thing, like, it's not really a concern, but it's like, for me, it's the disappointment of this. But... So, like, looking at the physical prototypes of Victory Leo, he looks a lot better than the promo pictures. Like, I think that is something that has to be said. And, like, Starsaber, the prototype from the show, like, it looks a floppy mess, but it's a prototype. And it's like, it's a big-ass figure, and it looks really chunky. For me, what's working against these is two things. One, the non-premium aspects. Like, Saber's arms are incredibly hollow.
Yeah.
They are, but they are, like, retail, like, deluxe, maybe even Cyberverse Deluxe.
I was thinking Cyberverse Deluxe Hollow, to be honest, yeah.
And the issue with that for me is that, okay, this is an exclusive figure, everything else. Would $5 one way give us filled-in arms?
Interesting.
Because it looks like he's got rotating fists. He looks like he's got fist articulation. So why couldn't we just that small bit of extra engineering? It's an exclusive item. You're making your profit off it. Everything else, just add a little bit of extra price, add an extra $1. Make it a full 180. But 180.99, and just give us that little, however much it cost, that little panel that you open up and then close.
You gotta wonder what the profit margins on these are. How much more are they making from these? Obviously, because they're not going into stores, it's gonna be less. But then the additional price on these versus what they cost in stores, what's the difference? Because I think if you're gonna sell this in the stores, you'd sell them for 2 liters, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Or you'd sell them a commander class, maybe.
Yeah. For both of them, or do you mean for each? I don't think
Starsaber would be a commander.
Both of them.
Starsaber would be a commander, and Victory Leo would be a leader. That would be.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
Especially after bloody Radamant. But so those Starsaber is the biggest offender for that, but the cannons are hollow underneath.
Yeah.
Starsaber's got various bits where it's clear there's gaps and everything else. And these are things I expect on retail toys, but just because of the nature of this, I'd like it to feel just that little bit more premium. And I said the same about, I thought the same about Unicron, certainly back in the day. The other thing is working against it, in my opinion, is some of the toy aesthetics, because they've very much gone for articulated toys, which in this case, because of the nature of the design, a lot of chunk, particularly the one that really distracts me is Starsaber's forearms.
They're super chunky.
Yeah, which is a toy thing, which is something the original toy had.
Sure.
But they did try to slim them down in a masterpiece. And, I think that looks better. Also, Victory Leo's legs, his beast mode articulation looks very limited.
I wonder why you'd go for an aesthetic of the toys when no one had the toys here, and most people's interaction with Starsaber.
To be honest, I think it's because it's Hasbro, and their designers always put the toy first when they're going for the retail.
I guess. I don't like it, but you're
except
right.
for it's only recently they've started going away from that. Even now they're still doing it, I'd say. Weird thing for me is Victory Leo's beast head, which doesn't really look like any Victory Leo beast head that's ever been done.
No.
It's very strange. They've gone for really wide and flat and kind of squashed.
He doesn't have any teeth in his mouth either.
No,
it looks got almost like a bear face rather than a lion face.
He's got the little tusks that Victory Leo has, but
are they in the right position?
Yes, it was a weird design. But when you look at if you look at the show model, it looks like a lion head, or at least a cat head. If you look at the toy, it still kind of looks like a cat. Here, it just looks squished. It doesn't. It looks G1-y, but it doesn't look like Victory Leo G1-y.
No, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. So and I think Starsaber is the most appealing part of this. Victory Leo, as I think, is a nice add-on, and I think it'd be nice. He's nicely there. I'd kind of rather just get Saber on his own. Victory Saber has no appeal to me whatsoever. It is the worst part of this combination. It is a bad Sentai combination. It is that O-Ranger. It's a bad version of the O-Ranger combination.
You know what did this same idea better?
What?
Goldran.
Oh, yes,
Great
Goldran did.
Goldran
looks amazing because, for one thing, color continuation.
Same idea, though. Lion thing turns into shoes and a chest piece, and then a bird forms the backpack. Same idea for the most part. But
but it's a really
better
good
overall look.
I'm just looking at it now, and I'm just this is a great design. Great Goldran for entrance, in general, is just wonderful. It's a ridiculous chunky mess, but it's wonderful. But God, the big booties.
To be fair, it needed those for stability. Otherwise, what was the bird called? Sorakage, I think.
Yeah.
Sorakage would pull him backwards.
Yeah. I suspect that still will probably happen. The hips will give out eventually. But
you mean on Great Goldran? No.
Yeah.
No.
I would have thought they did.
No.
Oh.
Well, mine's good at least.
something diecast construction lost art. I don't think he's actually diecast, but still. I also have things like I think that they could I think Saber's a bit wide. Like the base Saber mode is a little
Starsaber
wide.
or Saber?
Saber's there.
Oh, Saber. Okay.
But anyway, so this will have effect parts as well. But
oh, good.
So yeah. So please don't eat my toy. But this has 3 stretch goals. They've only revealed 1, which I think was a mistake. Like I think what I think they're going to do is that if they hit each goal, they're going to then reveal the next one. I think that's a mistake.
Is it not a better idea to show what the goals are?
Yeah,
and,
I think it really would be a good idea. That's what they did with the Master Force when they did the Fort Max repaint, Grand Maximus. When they did him, they said okay, if we hit these, you get these stretch goals, and that's what they should do here because I think that would push it. Also, I'm kind of not sure what they could do if they're sticking to Starsaber for stretch goals. But anyway, maybe at 14,000 backers, you unlock the V-Lock Cannon, which I have a minor problem with because
Why is not with the figure?
Yeah, because that is something. Because Victory Leo does has his terrible air alt mode in this, which is a literal flying brick.
Yep.
And it needs that cannon.
And it's his weapon. It's Victory Saber's main weapon.
Yep. And it needs that fucking cannon, or else it looks ridiculous. It still looks ridiculous anyway, but still.
That's kind of crappy.
I'm not crazy about that being locked behind a tiered thing.
No.
And I don't know what else you'd really add, because what else is associated with Saber or Leo or Victory Saber?
Well, I mean, he was, as I have said before, he's quite a bland character, and he didn't really do anything that amazing.
There's going to be an add-on kit to turn him into more than meets the eye.
Oh my god.
And
a religious book.
Yeah. Yes! Oh my god, he gets a Bible. These are going to... Tier 1 is unlocked at 17,000 backers, and Tier 3 at 20,000. So, I'd be surprised if it hit those, but we'll see. I'll be honest. For me, I'd still rather get the Masterpiece. I've always kind of wanted that Masterpiece anyway, but I like the aesthetic more. And
well, for the price, the price range that you're going to be dipping into, it seems like a better idea. I'm surprised he didn't actually say the Flame Toys one, Mikey.
Again, we're talking price range here, Andy. I need a kidney. Also, I get
it's only an extra 100 from a Masterpiece.
It's an extra 200.
It's the same
minimum, and then you do have to get a Victory Leo with that as well. To do a better, basically Gaugar version of Victory Saber. But also, the Terran is up first with that, and you know it. But I would be more interested in getting a Masterpiece. But I will say I don't think this is badly priced.
No.
I think for what you're getting, for the extra bits they put in, for the exclusive nature of this, for the fact this would never be sold at retail because they would never make any money. The Arc will sell better than this.
Yeah, it feels more reasonable than Unicron, which was way too much, I felt.
Yeah, I think, especially when I saw what Unicron was.
Yeah. And how it transformed.
Oh, transform is a very strong word, Andy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, presumably we will see options open up if you're in places like Ireland or the rest of Europe or whatever. Or maybe it will just be basically Zavi will be your main source everywhere, but we'll see. But a lot of people seem interested in him. He's had some critical thinking. I hope they are smart and have more updates with this guy than they had with Unicron.
I have a feeling they won't, just because I think they'll probably follow the same business model they did before, but maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe, like you say, they'll keep people a bit more up to date. That'd be nice.
It would be nice. But hey-o. Andy. Take us on.
All right, Mr. Mikey. We are going to move on to a possible look at a Kingdom reformatting Galvatron, question mark. So this was... What's that?
Question mark, you say?
Yeah, because this was, well, it's a rumor, so who knows if it's real. And it says, take this with a strong grain of salt. It shows a purple Galvatron with the reformatting lines on him, so we wondered how they'd get a repaint out of Galvatron, and I guess potentially this could be a way, if it's true and real and all that jazz. He seems to come with similar accessories that he did before, but he also comes with a Quintesson ship. Excuse me, and the Junkion ship, I guess that is.
No, it's the Quintesson ship is the big spiral one. I think that it's the yellow one. Is that the Junkion ship?
I guess it's got a similar kind of silhouette to it.
I don't remember what that looked like.
It was it was a browny, orangey kind of color, like Rekgar is, but it's orange here for some reason. But then again, I don't know.
No, I think it is. I think it is.
I don't know why they decided to cast, they cast both of these in yellow for some reason, because the Quintesson ship has silver painted on it, but the parts that should be green are yellow again for some reason, which I'm not quite sure.
It's also, is that another Nemesis?
No, he came with two Nemesises.
But there's another tiny one.
Oh, the
Not
one
Nemesis,
underneath that.
Harbinger.
Yeah.
Is that it? Whatever it was called. Galvatron ship. There's another tiny version, a smaller, presumably not gun version of Galvatron ship.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's probably what that's for. And then it shows like a load of small grey characters who are unpainted, who I guess are just like tiny versions.
Slug, or Slag I suppose back then, Grimlock, Snarl, and Swoop.
Snarl was a big part of the movie, Mikey.
No, hang on. Slag, Grimlock, Swoop, Snarl, and No Sludge.
Yep.
Quintesson Guard, Seeker, RC, Cup.
Why are these a thing? Who fucking knows?
Hot Rod. Maybe they. Oh, do you know what? I could honestly believe these are like, do you own Unicron? I just love that, like, Snarl, you're valid. Fuck off, Sludge. We don't love you.
Yeah, it's about time. Apparently, the person writing this article says, could this be related to the mysterious Galvatron and Unicron pack listing we reported back in April, which I don't know if me and Mikey did or not, but maybe this is related to that. What do you think of this reformatting Galvatron? If this is real, Mikey, if this is a fair and true thing.
If this is a fair and true... Also, this seems to be translucent plastic now, I'm looking at it. But
don't worry about it. What's wrong with translucent plastic?
Okay, so you're not going to like this.
True.
I kind of dig it. I kind of want it a lot more than the base one or that weird toy marble repaint. I really like it.
I don't dislike your answer. I'm just surprised. Why do you prefer this?
I think it looks fucking cool.
Okay.
It looks like Tron gone mad. Like, I think instead of trying to do that whole grid effect, I think doing all the key lines in white highlights over purple with some clear plastic, I think that's fucking genius. It looks amazing to me. I love it. I love it way more than the base figure.
The white lines is what makes me think it might not be real, because that's a lot of extra paint work, a tampos that they're going to be putting on. So,
well, if it's exclusive,
that's to be expensive, right? Oh yeah, that's a good point. It might be an exclusive Generation Select or something. I suppose that's a good point.
Because that's a lot of little accessories to add in.
Yeah, it's true.
I would also say the accessories look, to be blunt, crap enough to be real.
Yeah, they are a bit on the cheapy side.
But I honestly, like, I'll be honest, this is the version of Galvatron I'm going to try and get. I'm not going to bother with the standard, and I'm not going to bother with the Marvel one. This is the one I'm going to try and hope I have the money on the day.
Wow.
I really like
this. If it's the thing, or when it comes out, who knows.
But I really like this, if I'm honest.
Nice.
And I was really... I've seen some podcasts that act really badly to it, and I'm just like, don't care, want it.
See, I wouldn't say I'm going to act badly towards it. I just kind of go, I understand that there's very little kind of repaint value in a Galvatron. Like, what are you going to do? This, I guess, makes sense. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Female one, Galvatron.
Oh, man. The Empress of Destruction. Mega Empress.
No, you've made it. Why don't I own that toy? It was up on eBay during the week for $200, and I was just staring.
Was it?
I need this for Christmas. I need Christmas money stat. Oh, wait, I spent my Christmas money on a fucking dinosaur.
Oh my god.
Oh, if I can get her this year, I will. I say this every year, but if I can get her this year, I will. And I don't care if I'm going to be disappointed when I buy her and just sort of buyer's remorse. Fuck it, I want it.
One day, Mikey, one day. But no, I don't think this is too bad. I just kind of I guess more apathetic towards it than anything else. It's not hatred. I've seen a lot. Hey, it's not a black repaint to Prime, so you know that's something.
Yeah,
or a white repaint to Prime, which is something, or a grey repaint to Prime. Jesus,
he's just sleeping.
Yeah, just sleeping. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I'm keeping my eye out for this guy.
The other thing that's worth mentioning is the possible look at the Kingdom Deluxe Puffer.
That
Puffer. Obviously, Mikey, you plebe. It's a redo of Pipes. Apparently, a G1 Pipes European version known as Puffer. So it's the Puffer toy, but primarily white on the underside, and it looks like light blue rather than the dark blue of Pipes.
And a different head, I'm assuming.
No, that's Pipes' head.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking because I scroll down. This toy has the sort of cartoon / IDW.
Oh
head.
no, you're right. Oh yeah, he has a visor.
So this is
mildly
toy.
Different.
This is toy Puffer.
Huff Puffer.
Huff
What do you think of him, Mikey? Do you like him?
Weirdly, yes.
Yeah.
Very weirdly, yes. I'm trying to find pictures of this Puffer.
He looks like a background character.
Oh, yeah. No, he looks like a GoBot. He looks like a freaking GoBot. But
that works. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. Like the art, obviously this is mistransformed. But the actual like Huffer Pipes mold like looks decent. I'd be more interested in Pipes if I was getting one of the main ones.
Sure.
But
yeah.
This just looks, again, this is hitting that like novelty factor for me.
Okay.
Like, to be blunt, if I got him and you could like change the emblem to Decepticon, he looks like he should go with the little Tron Galvatron.
Oh, okay.
Like, right. Oh my god, Tron Space Galvatron and his weird 1980s Cylon backup friend who's in the video game world. Like, he's a fucking Cylon. But, I don't know. I'm kind of interested.
Wow.
This is hitting a level of, not quite my level of weird. As you know, my level of weird is quite high. But it's hitting this is kind of interesting level. I'm intrigued.
All right, well, that's cool. I'm not too fussed. It's just Huffer, but, white, so that doesn't, again, really do too much for me personally, but okay, rock and roll. And the last bit of news, because then we can move on to what Mikey did this week, is Casey Cholera is going to be going to TFCon Baltimore. So he's going to be a guest there, October 22nd to the 24th, and he is known for doing lots of comic artwork on Transformer books, and other things too. So if you want to go and see him, you can go to Baltimore and see him there. So Mikey, what have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun?
I've been a little sick all week.
Oh my god, why?
I don't know. It wasn't the Rona, so we're fine. But
good.
I was a wee bit ill and a wee bit run down all week, so I didn't do anything super, super interesting. I'm actually going to pause now because I need Andy to hear some of what's coming up, but I'm going to wait a second. I'm currently looking at pictures of Flame Toys Kurokuri Victory Leo, who is $400 with a $40 non-refundable down payment. That is significant. So, yeah. Does not include Starsaber. That seems like a mistake, but I like a lion face as an accessory, but yeah, that Flame Toys one has much better proportions than regular one, but it's also got like weird lion boots, but I'd love if they did a Galvatron repaint. They won't, but they should. Also, if someone customizes a Flame Toys Victory Leo and Starsaber into Galvatron, that would be insane. That would be an insane way to spend your money, because you have completely devalued a figure more than God. Also, apparently, Kanye West's new album Donda is here. Donda es Bibliothèque. Anime. I wonder if was Animaniacs reboot worth looking at. And people like it. Robot Sexy Guard War. Well, to be fair, Robot Sexy Guard War is the best Guard War. Fruit. There's something about a monkey.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I needed you to react to some of what's coming. I was about to say, so I'm basically just like narrating my Twitter feed.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
There's a weird horse zombie lizard thing up here from Golden Axe.
Oh, I know that thing. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
That looks very expensive. So yeah. So like I was saying, Andy, you can fix this, but yeah, I did basically summation. I've been sick for a week and I didn't actually do much. But so the F90 is still sitting on my desk to finish. Which is a shame. And I didn't have much energy until yesterday, really, to watch cartoons or anime or TV or anything. But I did catch an episode of Dragon Maid, so that's still fun. That's still a fun show.
What episode are they up to now?
9 of season 2, and I'm like, they're dealing with like, what's it like trying to have a relationship of any kind with a being for whom your lifespan is a blink of an eye. Lots of existential shit.
Right.
Which is like, hey, let's also like, not only do we have animation that is far too good for this show, let's actually like try and add depth and meaning to our big boobed sexual predator show. Because
still enjoyable though.
Yes, still worthwhile. If I would recommend you binge it at some point. But what I did do, and this is actually something I think is worth discussion, starting yesterday and continued into today, I started rewatching Prime.
Hey.
On Netflix. Season 1's up on Netflix, and I was just like, oh, cool, I'll yeah. So I rewatched that. I'm up to episode 14, and oh my god! Better than I remember.
Which... Oh yeah. It's way better to watch it as a big old block as well than the months between episodes.
Yep, because it had a terrible release schedule. But remember, I regard it as the best Transformers show ever made already.
Yes.
And I'm saying it's better than I remember.
Yes.
What does that tell you?
It definitely has its ups and downs in parts, though.
Yes, like it's
but
like
strong
season,
show.
Season 2 will happen at some point, and there will be that bit in the middle where bad calls were made. But 14 episodes in, I think you could write a fucking treatise on this versus modern animation. Like, it is shocking to me. Its IMDb score is like 7 point something.
Oh, really?
Which is okay. It's nothing major.
I'd say it should be a bit better than that.
Yeah, like Animated's IMDb score is 6. But like, if I look up Masters of the Universe Revelations on IMDb, also there's no Rotten Tomatoes score for it, or else I'd reference that. IMDb score is higher, I bet.
It shouldn't be.
Master of the Universe Revelations. IMDb score. Oh, actually, I forgot this. IMDb, it got Master of the Universe got review bombed, so it's 5.
I think that's more of a fair take.
I think it is honestly more of a fair take, but like, yeah. No, we all know that's like an artificial result. But like, there's a lot of shows that have come out in the last 5 years, what I'd call the Netflix age. Of action animation, which have been getting like rave reviews. These are the best of their show ever made. This is such an amazing experience, and Transformers is only one of many examples for that. And they get 9s, 10s, 8s, or whatever. And they aren't. It's not that they're not able to beat the Prime in a race. They're not even on the same track. Yeah, they're going the wrong way on another track. Like, it is shocking how much is packed into the 14 episodes I've watched. I
think the glaring error of Prime, or one of the bigger errors of Prime, is the fact that they couldn't populate their world, and so a lot of the time it feels very empty, which is a fair criticism. Very much so, and like the nature of CGI shows, like Camp Cretaceous today has that problem. They get away with it because they've got lots of dinosaur assets that they can recolor, but like look at like. The only way they could make the Cybertron, the Prime Wars, or whatever, not Prime Wars. No, it was Prime Wars. No, War for Cybertron. The only way they could make War for Cybertron seem populated was having 5 models, which they repeat 50 times. That's the thing, yeah. And even then, I imagine, it's going to be a case of the more bodies you add to a frame, the more it's going to take to render it out as well. So that becomes more expensive in itself as well. Yep. And this was when was this? 2011, 2013 for Prime?
In production in 2009.
Oh my god.
First episodes were released at the end of 2010.
Fuck, was it really that long ago?
Yeah, but like, also, it's really obvious this was a show which had so much money.
Oh yeah, this was riding on movie money.
This was like this was a show that went over budget. But it's not just like the look. And the writing is stellar. The characterization is so good. For the first 5 episodes, like, bar Bumblebee, and Bumblebee unfortunately suffering the movie syndrome, but everyone, even Prime, got, like, a grounding of their personality. And Prime's not as bad as I remember him being, which is weird. He's
just disappointing compared to he's probably the weakest character compared to everybody else on the show. Yeah. That's the issue with Prime. Oh, apart from Bumblebee, who doesn't have a character.
Yeah, and Bumblebee gets the end of the show.
Yeah.
He's good.
And then there's the music for the show as well.
Yeah, it's very good. But, like, the voice acting is stellar.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, the when the characters work, they work so well. Miko's not as annoying yet. She hasn't hit the really bad thing, which is, like, I believe the second half of season 1, which is when she wouldn't stop. She just wouldn't stop. Yeah. But they play her well. Jack is a great human protagonist. Yes. They don't. Raph is played up a lot less than I remember him being played up. Ratchet is great. Bulkhead is great. RC is wonderful. And then you get to the fucking cons.
Oh.
Like, Megatron's big first entrance in episode 2, where he's just like, what is it? He comes in, Starscream says something, and Megatron goes like, "I'm back, I will issue the commands." The fucking swagger. The fucking presence in that one line delivery. Frank Welker didn't knock it out of the park. He knocked it out of the park, flew up, and carried it away with him. And, like, he just keeps that up. And, like, it's amazing how, considering you don't really remember Megatron being big in the first half of season 1 because of the whole thing.
I thought he meant size-wise.
No. Well, he's massive. Like, that's another thing I want to talk about. But I forgot to say what I didn't like about the Starsaber that was big. Which is basically I wanted him to be anyone else from Victory.
Oh, okay.
But that's not really notable, so we'll forget it.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair comment. Well,
I want him to be like Dino King or Leo Kaiser or Road Caesar or anyone.
If only Dino King. If only.
Like, oof. But the presence of Megatron throughout that first half of season 1, he is haunting the show. And he's on the slab. Soundwave is great. God, Knockout's first appearance, I almost died. I think I fell in love all over again. Just reads it's like I'm just picking bugs out of my grill. And just like, I'm an automobile enthusiast. Just like, oh, why won't you be real and marry me and also a woman? But I'll take real and marry me because damn. If I have you know how you're allowed like one celebrity crush? Knockout is my celebrity crush.
That's fair. That's understandable.
He has a voice like smooth silk. Breakdown's great. Like, do you know what I don't remember? Being genuinely creeped out by our Arachnid's introductory episode.
Oh, it's a very good one. She's a really creepy bitch.
That's the thing. Like, I don't remember being like, oh, like I remember it being a good episode, but I don't remember it being like, oh, like this is actually disturbing. I'm just like, no, I'm in my 30s sitting here like, I'm uncomfortable, and we keep cutting to RC's friends dying, and I'm getting upset by looking at that, and then we cut to Arachnid like haunting Jack. And I'm just like, I am legitimately like, this is too well done. And if I was a child watching this, I would never watch Transformers again because I'd be like, or I'd never stop watching. But like, size is such an important thing in the show as well. Like, there's especially with sound effects, there's constant emphasis of the fact these things are huge. Oh yeah, definitely. Like the simple thing of like, if they can do an up angle shot, they will always do an up angle shot. Or like every time like Optimus walk into a frame, they'll always have the shaking effect. Facial animations are great. Like, they're aged a bit now, just because like these days they go for very human looking ones, but like you'd only notice because these things don't look human. It is a little jarring just how good this was. Like, I
think about what we got as a follow-up show.
Yeah, R.I.D.
I hate to say it, but R.I.D. was really bad.
Yeah, but then it got worse.
I know.
And then it got better, but then it got worse again.
This is why I say never expect that you've reached rock bottom, because there's always a lower level.
Yeah, but like, I like Cyberverse. I really like Cyberverse. I really enjoy it, but it's not.
It is a better show, but it's not for me.
It doesn't hold a candle to Prime in terms of just construction. Like, I think Cyberverse is one of the bravest Transformers shows ever done, but it's not on the same level. Like, I love animated. It's not on the same level.
I'm not sure if it's one of the Brave. I mean, I haven't seen the show, but I don't.
Season 3 is very you have.
I don't think it's
3.
brave compared to Beast Wars.
Yes, season 3 is brave compared to Beast Wars.
But it still doesn't divert. Does it divert that hard?
Oh,
what Transformers is?
You've never seen something like this.
Okay,
so that's all I'll say.
Okay.
I love Beast Wars, but Prime's better.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. Beast Wars is an incredible piece of work.
Well, it becomes
Prime is better
after season 1.
Yeah, season 1 has loads of great episodes. It's just
season 1 also has a load of really shit episodes.
Low Road is amazing. You need to accept this.
The one where they all turn into animals and Megatron goes on a safari is pretty bad. The one with the farting is pretty bad.
No, the fart one's Low Road. Low Road's great.
It's bad.
Low Road is a great comedy piece, and you need to deal with it. But the one with the safari gun, it's just they never that was a great idea, really cool idea that they didn't do enough with.
There's a lot of episodes in season 1 which are rough, I would say. It gets a lot better by season 2.
Well, season 2 is nuts because they just decide to start murdering people left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But
and go time. They decide time continuity and time travel was a thing, which clearly wasn't a thing in season 1.
Yeah. Well, basically, they did what they did with Beast Machines. It was they wait until Dan Didio looked away and started actually putting in what they wanted to do. Because that's why Beast Machines first season has no continuity, and second season just continuity.
Yeah, it's we gotta fix this. Come on, guys.
Yeah. But it's just Dan Didio is just constantly going we don't want anything to leak in. The children won't realize, and they're too stupid to remember. Also, you should kill Wally West. But
that's a tattoo he just has. He just has that tattooed on his arm.
Dead to Wally West. Exactly. And the other one is dead to Dick Grayson. But yeah, I started watching expecting it to be good because I remember it as the best Transformers show, but it really puts shows I like made in the last 5 years in a negative light, because I like Camp Cretaceous. Negative light. I enjoy She-Ra. That's now in a negative light, because She-Ra is fun, but it's not that good as that. And She-Ra has such a rough start until it just finally accepts it's not about She-Ra and it's about Catra. Oh god, Kipo is a really fun show that I watched, and it's a somewhat different genre, but it's still not as good. There's Prime is just next fucking level, and like I said, there's going to be bad episodes. So far the worst episode was the one with Misfit or Makeshift. Sorry, Makeshift. Where
that one.
Wheeljack.
Yeah, that's a really basic kind of episode.
Yeah. And I kind of nice because it sort of built up the Decepticon roster a bit, but then they killed him.
That was the problem. Yeah.
But then and I like I said, I know there's going to be weaker episodes. There's going to be the one where Bulkhead gets brain wiped and Miko's being a real pain in the arse about it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bit of a weaker one. Season 2, I know for a fact the middle of season 2 has at least 6 episodes I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, the Relic stuff I think you'll like more than you remember, but you'll probably still find it to be a bit of a drag, because it is still a bit of a drag, but there's some okay stuff in there.
Yeah, but Jesus, if the ending's as good of season 1 is as good as I remember it being, it's going to be amazing. But the way this is going, it's going to be oh my god, my head will fall off.
And you got season 3 as well.
Yeah, which is fucking gold in my mind.
Yeah,
I don't remember a bad season 3 episode, despite the fact that Rick Alvarez was out there going oh my god, they fucked everything up. Soundwave didn't talk. I hate this show, and it was just
there's probably...
They didn't listen to you.
Maybe not bad episodes in season 3. There's probably not as good episodes, a 5 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10 episodes. There's probably a few of them. I would imagine, but generally it's
such a tight experience. Predaking, for something that was forced upon them, I remember Predaking being handled so well.
They did a good job.
Yeah, and they did the very wise thing of not making him the big bad.
Yeah, the Beast Hunter movie was also pretty good. It was kind of a quick wrap up, but still pretty solid.
And did Megatron an interesting note?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the design for Unicron. Megatron.
The face is what always got me. It's too long.
Yeah, just the head design in general. Because didn't they give him little horns as well?
Yeah, lots of little horns.
Yeah, which was,
But yeah, Predaking, I'm so looking forward to hitting Predaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, caught me off guard in a weird way. Caught me off guard. So that was kind of the big thing this week.
Wow.
In case you don't know, I think you should watch Prime. Like I said, season 1's up on Netflix.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Pretty
solid.
solid.
What are you going to do when 2 and 3 come around? Because I'm assuming they're not on Netflix, at least at the moment, right?
I might have ways from many years ago that I may fall back on.
Oh my god.
Such as a hard drive from 2014 that I haven't used in 6 or 7 years. But who knows what's on that hard drive? Could be anything. Could be zombies. Could be boobs. Probably boobs. Nothing else. Only boobs.
Well, that's acceptable. That's fine.
Legally acquired boobs. Nothing else. But yeah, I also, just because of I was curious, I watched the Kamen Rider Saber's over. I haven't gone back and rewatched that yet.
Did you actually find out from anybody who watched the show if it got better or if it was still poo by the end?
I've seen, like, all I could see is a few reactions from the most recent thing, which is like, I love this ending, and then some people going like, I'm glad it's over, and I'm just like, not really giving me the information I want.
That's not helpful.
But they did a special like post finale special, which had a lot of stuff referencing stuff from the main show, which obviously I don't get.
Sure.
But it had Revice in it, and I was curious to see, at least get a sense of how Revice would work.
That's the Dino Man, right?
Yep. Revi and Vice. All I can tell you right now is that they're probably at least going to start with a heavy comedy focus. Which could hit or miss. Deno went comedy from the start, and I love Deno. In fact, I'd almost argue Deno is the best written of the first run of Heisei's, even though, Ryuki's great.
That's fair, yeah.
Also written by the woman who wrote O's, who also wrote Ryuki.
Yeah, I think Deno's...
Anyone noticing a pattern?
To say. Yeah.
Anyone noticing a pattern emerging there in terms of creator?
Yeah.
Turns out she's very good and twisted. But like, I'm interested in Revice because it is doing that, like, partnered with a monster thing. The story, what I've learned about the story is it's going to be...
like, you mean like Wizard?
No, shut up. Because they have to, they've made him a suit and a character and, like, tied into powers. Like, it has to be relevant. It has to fucking be relevant.
Oh, so they're actually doing something.
Right. Because Vice is like an inner demon that when he transforms gets a rider form. So, which looks more like the animal than the rider suit.
Animal.
But like it's comedy. There's a fart joke in there. It's very wacky. Clearly, yeah. Like I'm not in love with the catchphrase. At least the catchphrase they show. Iki Ikuze.
Oh.
The main character is called Iki. Iki Ikuze.
Oh.
Do you get it?
I get it, yeah.
A lot of people don't actually explain it to them.
No.
Ikuze is, broadly speaking, here I go, or here I come, or let's go, or something like that. So it's like, Iki is going. Let's go.
That's what we call a flat joke. I get it. It's a children's pun, so maybe it's funny more so for the audience. So okay.
I can't tell you. Like, I didn't get a sense because I didn't really get a sense of how good the puns would be, how good the actual show would be. But like, if that's the tone they're going for, it's definitely going to be more comedic. Again, that could be hit or miss. Rider very rarely goes like with a strong comedic start. I think really only Deno's gone like wacky comedy, and again they went with Rider partnered with Monster.
Yeah.
Was the writer for this episode the same one who did the main show, who's going to do Revise? Actually, I'm going to check that. But yeah, I like the design. The pink I think actually looks quite well, and I've seen a couple of the upgrade forms, and I think they look quite solid. So I'm definitely going to check out Starter Revise, and hopefully I'll stick with it. But yeah, written by, I'm just a little check if this is that is a very skinny, terrifying looking young man.
Okay.
Like that is Uchida Hiroki. Do not mean this in a negative fashion, sir, but you are terrifying.
Does he need to eat a burger?
He looks like he ate your soul.
Oh.
So no. He is not. He's written a few episodes of Saber, but he's not the writer for Revice.
Okay.
So we do not know how the writer's going to go, because I know the writer for Revice is new. He's one of those guys who's coming off dramas.
Right.
Which, is always something to pay attention to with writer.
Sure, true that.
That's how we got Exade, that's how we got Build.
That's the thing, they can always switch. Oh, sometimes they're like Saber and they don't switch. They don't do that. He does. He's an interesting lad. Yeah,
he's terrifying. So yeah, I'm definitely curious. Like I said, the aesthetic's fun. I do see how they're doing the mecha forms this time around.
Right,
and it's unique.
You mean in a good way?
In a definitely done as a comedy way, which is all I'll say is like go into Twitter and just search Revice and you'll see it's very hard to describe. It's basically two people will mount each other and then armor will form around them.
Oh, I've seen the toy and it looked.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it looked weird. It looked like they were trying really hard.
That's how they combine. Like that is literally what they do that, and then special effects happen.
Okay, fair enough.
But it will still look like two. It will still look. It's not like because I've seen in a trailer the CG models. It's not like it will look more cleaner. It will look like that. So that could be something that works very well or very badly depending on how it's executed. But yeah, no, it's starting next week, so I'm definitely curious. Anyway, I've dragged this out long enough. Andy, what about you?
Me, what have I done? I did a poopcast recording for Moonbase Woo Woo tonight, or yesterday, I should say. It's on Babylon 5. It's my talking about my love for it, and hopefully might get some people interested in seeing it if they haven't already. That's a pretty good show, Mikey. You might not be aware.
That's all right. I hear it stands up pretty well to the rigors of time.
Yep, it's clearly not got the budget of a Deep Space Nine, but that's not their fault. That's just how it be. So I did that recording. What else have I been up to? Just streaming as usual. I did a poopcast with Mr. Gruff on the Fluff and Hammer, and got some Master of the Universe Origins figures. I got a Skeletor, a Trapjaw, and a Merman as well. And they're pretty fun little figures. They're pretty cheap for what they are. They're about, especially in this age today, the normal price for apart from Skeletor and He-Man are at a more expensive price because I guess the main characters. It's $17.99. Merman and Trapjaw are about $14.99. And they're, for what they are, they're pretty good. They resemble the old toys, but with more articulation. The articulation's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's enough to do something with. And they have all the gimmicks, so Trapjaw can open his little mouth, and you can swap his arms around, so you can give him the little claw and the little hook and the little gun. And they're really solid little figures. They feel good in the hand. And it feels like the good gateway toy for a kid. If the kids, I don't know, I don't know if kids would play with these, but they are nice, bright, and colorful, and should still get the attention of the kids of today. I would hope. They look great. I got the Skeletor with the open mouth as well. There was a second version that had the more traditional Skeletor head, but I like the one with the open mouth because it was a lot more expressive, I found. I like them. I think they're neat. The only thing that's bad with my release is he comes with half of the Power Sword, which is, the way of the old toys where you'd get a He-Man and you'd get a Skeletor and you'd put their two halves together and you'd have the full one. Oh, there you go. But I like them. It's fun. And I did that because I've been rewatching the 2000X show, and that is, unsurprisingly, still holds up. Still good. The only thing that's a bit on the iffy side is the amount of spinning they do of the weapons in the first few episodes. Oh
yeah, because they're like, oh my god, budget, and they're like, whoa.
I don't know. I don't know if it's budget, but I think they thought it looked really cool for the heroes and the villains to spin their weapons around so much, which is a very bizarre idea.
It was a thing. It was a thing. Then there was a lot of it was like.
Was that a thing?
Because anime was doing something similar, and a lot of those cartoons were inspired by it. And there would
true.
be a lot of cartoons that would be and now we will immediately
yeah, maybe
and then
that's
fight.
It. Yeah.
And that also it was a good way of and we're eating up time, so we don't have to animate things because we don't have a proper storyboarded fight scene on hand, which is something that was not uncommon. And it was
I think for the beginning specifically, it was because it was 3 episodes, and the second episode where that happened, they needed to probably, like you say, stretch out that fight in a cheaper way. So that, I guess, makes sense. The last episode I watched last night was the introduction of the Faceless One, Evelyn's dad, which is a pretty good episode. Really cool new character added to Masters as well, the Faceless One. Never really got expanded upon, unfortunately, but, that's how that show went. And I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I got more of the Mega Constructs Masters of the Universe figures. I got the Battle Ram that had Mechanic and... who was the other one it came with? Mechanic and Triclops. And I got the set that had He-Man in battle armor versus Merman in the Rotor. And they're really fun. The only bad thing about these things are that if you want to get a lot of the characters, the single pack characters, you have to go to America to get them because they're just not available in the UK at all, which is a bit of a bummer. And I think we'll find out more about what's happening with these things because apparently PowerCon, the He-Man convention, is coming up within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I guess I'll find out more about that. But I'm enjoying Masters of the Universe at the moment. Very fun little creative toy line and stuff. So yeah, that was cool. I think that's all I've been up to, Mr. Mikey.
I don't know if that's right, but did you watch Suicide Squad during the week? Because I saw you talking about Shark Man, King Shark guy, and said he was a good boy.
I know of him, but I have not seen the film.
All I know is that he's voiced by Sylvester Stallone, and that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
From what I'm hearing, like Suicide Squad, this new one, whatever the correct one, because this might be the Suicide Squad. Yeah, the last one is the Suicide Squad. There's Suicide Squad, and now there's the Suicide Squad. Which is a very loose sequel, from what I understand. Yes, I hear that this is actually really entertaining and worth watching, unlike the other one, which was just garbage.
I'm going to wait until you watch it, and then you can tell me if it is, because you make me do that all the time, so it's your turn, bitch.
I don't know when the next time I'll be able to go to the cinema is, so that's
how did we watch things before we had cinemas, Andy?
I can't remember the last time I did that with a movie. You reminded me of a terrible thing I did today as well, Mikey. I watched The Predator from 2018.
Oh, Andy, no.
Have you seen The Predator from 2018?
Yes, but let me put it this way. I've seen The Predator from 2018. I don't remember The Predator from 2018.
It's atrociously bad. It's aggressively terrible.
I remember because that was after the Alien versus Predator thing, and they wanted it to be like more dark.
But it's not. They've got a load of crappy Marvel jokes in there.
Oh, isn't there a katana-wielding guy?
No, you're thinking of the one that had where they're all taken to a different planet.
Yeah, that's not Predators.
Yeah, that's Predators. That was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. This is the one with not Jordan. It's Jordan Peele and someone else. You know the comedy duo.
I know I've seen it. I have seen it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's the one where they've got the super predators. Where you find out spoilers. The reason they've been coming to Earth more frequently is because the environment's dying, and they want to get our spinal fluid juice so they can create hybrid predators.
That's Attack on Titan.
Nope, that's Predators or the Predator.
We want to use spinal fluid juice to make super weapons. That's Attack on Titan.
Yep, and there's a super predator who doesn't need a mask, and also has less armor but can generate armor from underneath its skin.
Nope, that's still Attack on Titan.
Yep, this is the Predator. Predators, whatever it's called. Oh, and the autistic boy is the special super hunter, according to the Predator, because he knows how to read the language. What?
Did you say sexual super hunter?
No, special super hunter.
Oh, special super hunter.
Not sexual. Yeah, the autistic boy has the power through autism to be able to, understand the predator language, which is a weird trope that exists, I suppose, but it exists. And by the end of the movie, spoilers, we find out that the predators were sending super battle armor to Earth for some reason.
I've gone to the Wikipedia page. I'm reminding myself of this film. And there was a line that attracted my attention. The Predator takes Rory, recognizing his autism as an advancement in human evolution.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, it is a form of mutation, and I don't want to say anything that could be construed as me being an absolute asshole, which frequently when you talk about this subject, you can very easily sound like an absolute asshole.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
Basic evolution is random mutation is not advancement, it is random mutation, it is a reactive force, and sometimes random mutation leads to extinction, and sometimes it leads to you surviving. It does not make you advance. That's not what evolution does. So that's all I'm going to say on that, and that's still a stupid plot point.
It's a bad film. It's very, 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 very bad. I might put up Alien vs Predator 1 above it, because at least that was bland. It's just a weird film. It is a weird film it was written by apparently the guy that worked on the first film, Shane Black or something, and it's like the guy
by him and then written by Fred Decker and Shane Black. It's
like he never did the first Predator or was never around the first Predator. It's like he hasn't even seen the first Predator movie. That's how bad this is.
Okay, so this guy. Oh no.
So he's worked on things.
Yeah, but Frank Decker wrote the script for the Godzilla King of the Monsters in 3D American film project idea. The first major draft for an American Godzilla film.
Okay.
Which I hear was terrible.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Wrote RoboCop 3 and directed it with Frank Miller.
Oh no.
He basically does a lot of uncredited rewrites and things as well, including Johnny Quest, Lethal Weapon 4, and Titan AE.
Oof.
Yeah. To be fair, everyone wrote Titan AE.
That's true.
Everyone wrote Titan AE. And also wrote Edge. What has Shane Black done? He wrote... He didn't write Predator. He was a script doctor on Predator.
Oh, that's what it was. Well, even so, not good. Not good.
He was a story guy on Lethal Weapon 2. He didn't write it. He wrote The Last Action Hero.
I like The Last Action Hero.
The Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Oh no!
No.
Oh, it gets. Oh no! Oh no! He wrote The Nice Guy, the terrible film with
no,
Russell Crowe. It gets worse than that. He wrote and directed Iron Man 3.
Oh no! I mean, that explains a lot.
One of I can't believe people defend this. One of the worst Marvel movies, because it is worse than Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 2 is not a cinematic masterpiece.
I would agree. Iron Man 2's bland, but it's not aggressively...
Iron Man 2 has a bird. That is not my bird. I hated Iron Man 3 so much, and I hated what they did to the Mandarin, and I probably won't, but I will almost watch the new movie that's coming out, because at least it's got a Mandarin who seems to have something to do with the Mandarin in it. But, oh god, this was a terrible movie, and I remembered reading somewhere that the writer fought really hard for his twist about the Mandarin, and Sir Ben Kingsley, one of the most significant actors of our time, being reduced to that. Yeah. Which, to be fair, he frequently is. But
yeah.
Oh god. Now I remember why I don't remember The Predator, because I only remember Iron Man 3 because I did a podcast on it.
That's right. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. And the big thing I suppose I did this week was I was able to get my PlayStation 3 to become a region-free Blu-ray player finally. I took a little bit of YouTubing and whatnot, but it's well worth it. I was able to... it means now that I can try and look for Transformers Prime on Blu-ray, which seems to be a bit difficult now. The first season seems to be rather expensive, which is annoying. Same for season 2. I found season 3 for an okayish price of like £20 or something, but the rest of them are a little bit on the rough side, which is unfortunate, but hey ho, I suppose that's what happens when you wait too long and I guess the things go out of print.
Bummer.
But it's worth it at the very least to have the availability of being able to get Blu-rays from across the world now. It's always stupid that I wasn't able to, because hey, who wants to watch Prime in DVD quality?
You shouldn't have watched it in DVD quality in the first place, you heathens.
Exactly. I don't know why anybody did that. I don't know why. Apart from just to give a cheap thing for the kids.
I'll watch the YouTube rip. I'll watch the YouTube rip in 480. You go to hell.
It's not a great call. Anyway, Mr. Mikey, do we have any questions?
I do not. Do you have any questions?
We have a message from Tentamon4 replying to our From the Files of Teletran 2, where we talked about the Beast Wars stuff, which will be going up this week, as well as the Babylon 5 Patreon show. So you guys have...
I will say before you know, since it's in my mind, we will probably be doing the first issue of Shattered Glass in the next comic show because it's a standalone for the most part. So.
Okay. Well, there you go, people. There's a little tidbit for
and
you.
he's learning too, because I meant to tell him and forgot to.
Hooray! It's good to learn. But that's okay. Okay, so, question, or the message, at least. Finally, I wanted to talk about this for a while, because it feels like a fanfic to me. This is the Beast Wars comic. But a competent one, where the OC characters get shit-kicked, metaphorically kicked out of it, so people will have a harder time calling them a Sue. Before a fan favorite character puts all their focus on them and has it drive the plot for this first arc at least, and it still feels weird how they push Nyx as a cool new female figurehead by having her hang out on the credits page. Oh yeah, we never really talked about those, did we?
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind Nyx, I just don't think they've done it. I think they, oddly enough, I think they did the Turtle Lady, I think they did better with, because I think her character is a little bit more distinctive just because like they've added in, she's very powerful but very shy and very lacks confidence, whereas Nyx is young and hot-headed.
I heard very bad things about Mutant Town.
I
heard very bad things about Mutant Town.
Mutant Town?
The storyline with Turtles, Mutant Town. Whatever that was, where they're all stuck in a town together.
No, I like that. That's good. Turtles are great. Okay. Turtles are very good. That's a great storyline. It's got Old Hob getting punched in the face. I am always a fan of Old Hob getting punched in the face.
I've heard some bad things about it.
You're wrong.
Okay. I'm not the one saying it.
I don't know how. I don't even know. How did you? I didn't say Mutant Town.
No, somebody else did. But you brought up the Lady Turtle, and I remember she's focusing the Mutant Town thing.
No, it's mostly because she wants to murder Karai. But no, I will fight to the death for Turtles IDW. It should not be as good as it is, but it's very good. Okay. I actually did a reread of that this week, so I don't mention my comic stuff as much. But
he continues showing off fan art of her in the letters page and for being on a fair amount of the covers. And the first thing that happens to her is she gets the shit beaten up, captured and tortured. Kind of feels a bit icky, but that could have just been me reading too much hentai fanfics. You answered your own thing there.
Yeah.
Lastly,
that is your own answer.
Lastly, it's unfair to compare any series to Samurai Jack. I don't think it is.
I think we should compare every series to Samurai Jack because that is a good bar to have.
It is a cartoon series made for children. Why wouldn't you use it as a judgment of comparison?
It is kicking the shit out of live-action shows made for adults that are supposed to be super violent and written by a guy who will never finish his book series.
It's also that, yeah, definitely. So I think it's perfectly
always
fair.
Use it for a comparison.
I was going to say, I think it's perfectly fair. It's not like we're comparing a student film to a Hollywood blockbuster or anything like that. We're comparing apples to apples, not apples to zucchinis, I would say.
Like there was a very common thing, I remember this distinctly. 1998, JRPGs had, because of a very certain game, had become very, very popular and were coming out left, right, and center. And it was a very common thing for reviews to end to the point where they used to actually start memeing this before memes were really a thing. It's good, but it's no Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, it's a very fair thing to say this is where we think the bar is at its highest.
Yeah.
Are you aiming for that bar, or have you passed that bar?
Or are you just limboing under?
Yeah. Are you struggling to reach the bar? Are you just ignoring the bar completely? Mm-hmm. And Samurai Jack is that kind of show in my mind. It's like Samurai Jack, because no such thing as a perfect show. No. But Samurai Jack is exemplary.
Yeah,
and that's why I would compare. It is like it's not a high bar. It is simply the bar. You've got to get as close to that as you can. And when some shows hit it, what would be a good one? Since I talk about it every 15 minutes, Primal.
I was going to say Primal's an easy choice, really, to go
but
with.
It hits that bar, in my opinion.
In a different way, I would say as well.
Yes.
Because it's a different feeling show, even though it's done by the same guy. It's still got the high levels of quality to it, although it is disgustingly much shorter, unfortunately.
Yes. We are getting season 2, thank Christ. Yes. But Avengers Earth Mighty Hero doesn't hit that bar, but is aiming for that bar and is reaching for that bar.
Yeah, and for what it does, I think it does a really good job at it.
On the other hand, you have things like RAD 2015, which might have gone for the bar, but then fell in its face and sort of flopped around like a fish. So I think I think everyone always says like set the bar at an average. I think set the bar at a high point.
Yeah, and you want to reach for something. You don't want to just pass. You know, you don't want just a passing grade.
Yeah,
your parents don't give you a clap on the back for getting a C.
Yeah,
they give you a clap for getting an A. That's what you should be getting.
That's how I think you end up with like a lot more average than whatever. Because like it's one thing to aim for the high one and fail. It's another thing to aim for the middle and fail.
Oh, that's just depressing.
And like, or it's another thing to aim for the middle and think, yeah, this is fine. It's just like, like if you think a student is capable of a B, tell them to get an A. That is something in teaching. There's a real thing in teaching. If you have a student you think is a B grade student who might be getting C's at the moment, tell them to aim for an A. Work to get that A. Yeah. Because that, like, it will push them. That you've got to ask them to go that little bit further than they think they're capable of.
Yeah, get them out of the comfort zone.
So, and basically, like, just it would be unfair of me to pretend Samurai Jack is not a fucking masterpiece. And it beats the shit out of Game of Thrones.
Not even the best Marvel show as Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Spectacular Spider-Man stands up to it. We just kind of covered that. But if you think Mando is bad, do not watch The Bad Batch. It's pretty boring, even if you give a fuck about Star Wars. T4 out. Well, I'm just done with Star Wars. I'm over.
Yeah,
I have no interest in Star Wars at all. I kind of like Star Wars. I like the Clone Wars series, and I like the first 3 movies, but you know, after the last load of stuff we've had, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm alright never touching Star Wars ever again. Yeah, no matter what it is.
There's a comic I've been meaning to check out that was supposed to be kind of interesting. I called Dr. Aphra, but apart from that, like, there's zero. I have no interest in seeing the films. I have no interest in really seeing the TV show. I was like, no. I saw The Mandalorian. It was bad Samurai Jack.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then it was like bad TV advertisements for a different character. And then it was like a hilarious thing about where like, oh no, the baby died because he got taken away by Luke. Oh no. Until they do season 2 and it was like, oh no, we saved the child because Mandalorian had a psychic vision. I don't know, but I would struggle to care. Like, I saw trailers for The Bad Batch and I was just like, okay, I like the Clone Wars for what it is. I think the Clone Wars show is a good show. It was never one that set me afire.
That's fair, yeah.
And I very much of the opinion that since the reboot, it's very much like, hey, you remember how you used to feel? But I hear people like The Bad Batch, but these days that's not selling me on the show. If I'm honest, or anything really. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I didn't watch it because people liked it. I watched it because I wanted to try it, kind of thing. And I ended up liking it, but yeah. I would definitely use Samurai Jack as the bar.
Same.
Absolutely. Yep. Jurassic Park's my science fiction bar. Samurai Jack is my TV bar. These are good bars to have.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5. Yeah. Another good high bars for TV.
Yep. It's your job to try and hit those, and if you can, go past them. And there's no shame in not hitting them, but there is shame in not trying.
Yeah, I would agree.
Or trying to subvert expectations.
Oh my god. Stop. And you need to earn that. Yeah. You need to earn it. It's not just a get out of jail free card for writing.
I've meant to go back to listen to the couple of episodes that we did when Game of Thrones season 8 was airing, because I remember having some epic breakdowns.
Yeah, I think I remember you getting angry.
Because I just gotten into Game of Thrones as well. I just blitzed the whole show as well. And I had come away with it. I was like, oh, there's a lot of potential here. I don't love it, but there's a lot of potential here. And they're just like, no, this isn't logic. Nothing about this is logic. What's happening?
Yeah. Game of Thrones. It's going to be one of those shows people look back on and be like, wow.
I think I said at the time, I don't care how good you think the first 4 seasons are. That last season, let alone the other 3, but that last season.
Oh, it's a series killer.
It is I cannot tell you in good conscience to watch the show because you will, because it's a serialized medium and you will hate that ending because it was atrocious. Yeah. And insulting to you and the people and the characters and the creator, and was made because the writers thought the showrunners thought they were getting Star Wars. And they wanted off the show.
Yeah, and George R. R. Martin hasn't finished his next book. Still.
And
he's working on another project, though.
Yeah, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but he will probably die before you get the next one.
No, I don't think he wants to finish it. I don't think he wants to.
No, it'll be a Tolkien situation where like his son takes his notes and edits together a book, and it's not as good as it would have been, but you kind of just appreciate
we got the TV show.
Silmarillion by Christopher Tolkien via R.J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea. I don't think... Yeah, the Silmarillion is not one of those books that you love reading, but it's kind of an interesting kind of writer's guide,
It is the science fiction... or it's the fantasy equivalent of an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Or a glossary page or something like that. Yeah. They tried their best, but,
Did you ever wonder where dragons came to? Please check B.
No, I didn't.
Big-ass dragon.
No, I wasn't that interested. I mean, if Tolkien had the time in his life to actually make those stories, then I would have obviously been way more interested.
Yeah, because he'd have told a story, but he never intended for half of it to be published.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, they were just notes, like you say. Anyway, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to, my dude?
You can find me on Twitter with Irish Paleo, and if you'd like to send us a message, you can do it on the. Sorry, just scrolling, and there's some weird shit coming up on my Twitter at the moment of people doing this. Oh yeah, it's the spread thing that's going around, which I only
what that reminds me of. It reminds me of the ass blaster bugs from Starship Troopers. Things into space. I was gonna get like a good shot of that and like put it next to some of the images, but I couldn't find a good image of the ass blaster bug, so I was like, oh well, damn.
But yes. So you can email us on the moonbase2@gmail.com. You can send us messages over on Twitter and Patreon and Libsyn and Weebly and everywhere else, and Facebook, of course. And yeah, keep in contact, guys. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
Andy, what about you?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, as YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to the patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you want to do $2 each month, you can get the extended version off from the Files of Teltron 2, and you get the Moonbase Woo-Woo, where we get talk about non-transforming things in more detail. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com. I'm also on Twitch, where I play video games from 11 o'clock in the evening till about 2 o'clock in the evening, give or take, or half 1 in the evening UK time. And I've gone back to The Witcher. I finally found Dandelion. Fuck me, that took forever. What an
I remember
asshole.
that not being as significant as I hoped it would.
No, because you can either do the Bloody Baron stuff or the Dandelion stuff in either order. So both cases, they go, well, I don't know, she's not here, is she? And you go, oh, for fuck's sake. I spent how long on both of these fucking missions getting no information? Right pain in the ass. But I got it done finally. I even found out who acided his girlfriend's throat.
Oh, yeah, I liked her.
I did too. Priscilla, I think her name was.
She was fun.
My god. I was like, can I leave this fucking city for Skellig yet? And it's like, no, there's still a few more quests to go. And it's like, oh,
Skellig is relatively quick.
I know. I think I've got over the hump, the big hump of the game, which is Novigrad and whatever the other place was connected to. And now we can press on with Skelligrad. So I've done that. I've porked Yen. We porked Yen on stream. We were saving ourselves for Yen, so we've conquered the mountain, as it were.
So you will be with Yennefer, or are you going to like dump her for Triss?
No. We're with Yen. That was what Chat decided.
There was a weird moment where you can literally drop her like a rock, which feels so forced.
Oh,
you
that's
literally
great.
Tell her, "I don't love you," and I never did.
That's great, especially with the choices you could have made just to primarily go with her as well, just to randomly go, nah, bitch, done. Yeah, we made Whoopi on the back of a stuffed unicorn, which felt...
Yeah, that unicorn's weird.
I kept saying, why would you do that? That'd be so uncomfortable. And you'd fall off. It's not practical.
I'm assuming it's something from the books, which is a running gag.
Probably. It didn't make any sense to me, because she was just like, oh, you still have this? I'm like, what is happening? What is this? Is this funny? I'm so confused. Why is there not a mod to mod that into like a My Little Pony or something like that?
Oh, I hope someone has modded the fuck out of that.
Or a giraffe. You know. Or the dwarf friend that you have. That'd be weird. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week. So thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. And we will see you next time for more Moonbase 2 action.
Samurai Jack is great.
Woo!
So was Prime.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.